Good day, everybody. It is currently going into the midnight hours here in Fiji and also across the Western Pacific. If you are watching worldwide, actually making this update right around 15 Universal Time, and we are still watching Cyclone Evan spin around here. Actually, you have the Samoan Islands right in here, in American Samoa off here towards the east, and really, all of you are just being impacted by this ever-strengthening typhoon. Actually, we're seeing some very decent inflow coming in around the storm system, and that has made the winds, actually, according to the Fiji Meteorological Agency, gusting up to 120 kilometers an hour, and we have been seeing this throughout the day. But this is about a Category 3 cyclone. Let's take a look at what the equivalent is if we were talking about a typhoon. This is actually our very handy tropical cyclone classification guide at Western Pacific Weather. And we can see off here towards the right, the Fiji Meteorological Agency, when they have a severe tropical cyclone at a Category 3 status, that's actually about the equivalent of a weak typhoon. That's also according to the JTWC. Winds somewhere between 74 and 99 knots, or about 119 to 159 kilometers per hour. So still a very strong storm system. And these are actually some of the videos coming out of the region today, just showing these winds gusting up there. And really, we have been seeing some down power lines, trees up as well there in Samoa. And also, we're just still seeing these winds continuing to linger. If we take a look at the forecast trend, you see that the Fiji Meteorological Agency actually expects it to pull off here towards the east, to linger here basically through Friday before starting to move off there on Saturday, and then eventually going into Sunday, where it is going to be pushing in on the islands of Fiji themselves. But for the time being, at least through Friday, you're still going to be seeing some heavy rains and further flooding across this area. Very well could be expected, not to mention the risk of storm surge as the storm just continues to linger overhead. Let's actually take a look at one of the models and pointing on towards this storm system. You can see it lingering over Samoa once again, going into Saturday, starting to pull off there towards the southwest. Then we're getting into Monday and even Tuesday of next week, and it's still lingering around Fiji because of this high pressure down here towards the south. It actually extends off there towards the west, even all the way out towards the Queensland area. And what this is doing is really acting as a wall. That's just going to keep that storm system lingering off there towards the north, most likely. And we just continue to watch through the forecast period. That wall just remains in place. This is 1 week out of Thursday next week. We're still seeing it linger there, at least according to this particular model, as long as the conditions remain favorable and it doesn't really grab anything to allow it to churn off there towards the southeast. It very well could be staying here in this area, really kicking up the seas around Fiji, and in this particular case, it will continue to linger in the area for quite some time. But let's take a look at another one of the models here. Now, this is the European model, a little bit different aspect here. There we were looking at precipitation. The European model is gathering a better analysis as far as the intensity of the storm system, but I do think most of them are actually keeping it rather weak. But let's just take a look at where they expect the track to go. We have Samoa off here. It's starting to pull off there towards the west, and we're seeing some drier inflow from the west. That's going to wrap around it, but for the most part, it does look like it's not going to have an overriding influence from moisture inflow coming in from the south. So what may happen here is you have an intensifying storm, keeping it at a Category 3, maybe even get up to the Category 4 status for you there in Fiji, according to your scale. And then it's going to move across the islands there. And even though it brushes just towards of the islands, you're still going to be having that very severe risk of storm surge as that winds just wrap around and push on shore. If it took this particular scenario, once again, it still could waver off towards the north or off towards the south. But I do think at this time, Fiji, you're definitely going to be getting a rather strong storm system, if not just heavy rains and rough surf near the coastlines going into the early part of next week. This is actually on Sunday through the overnight hours in this particular scenario, and even going into Monday, still lingering just off here towards the west. Let's pull back the picture and see where this is going to be by midweek. And even with this particular model, this is showing the end of the model run off towards Tuesday, going through the noon hours, and you can see it just here towards the west of Fiji, continuing to linger, really spinning up here, and just bringing all sorts of high winds and rough waves near the coastlines here. So I do think that this storm is really going to be lingering at this time, and once again, just due to this blocking high down there towards the south, keeping it in place and not allowing it to go anywhere, and you're not really having a trough at this point to pick it up and pull it off there towards the southeast. So it may not have any forward mechanism to carry it off here, and that's actually what the JTWC, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, has noted in their latest forecast on this, saying that up to the next 72 hours, they're fairly confident in the fact that it's going to linger here and then eventually push off there towards the west. Once again, actually, due to that high pressure ridge down there towards the southeast, it's going to push on it, but then once it gets here around Fiji, that ridge is also going to act as a wall, and they say that after the next 72 hours, their confidence in where the storm system's going to go really starts to wane off there. So we're definitely still going to be watching this through the coming days, but at least for the time being, still have a very strong and potent storm system continuing to impact you here in Samoa, as those pictures we showed here still really do show. Also want to remind you though that if you do visit our partners website at 28storms.com/cyclone, they continue to keep you updated with the latest on this storm system. Same with our also partners at Cyclone Chase, who are putting out video updates just like the one you see here. So please do go check them out if you want more information, just streaming in from all sorts of locations at the same time here for you in Fiji and also Samoa. So please stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day, and thanks again for watching here.